y'all remember the lady, the mother of the two children who passed away in the car? They said that those kids passed away from hypothermia, right? The autopsy revealed that these kids from carbon monoxide. And I'm gonna give my thoughts on that, but I want to go ahead and play the article first, and I want to get your thoughts on it as well. Here we go.
Breaking news is coming from the Wayne County Medical Examiner. Live pictures right now from Hollywood Casino in Greektown. We've now learned the 2-year-old and 9-year-old who died in a car in that casino parking structure did not freeze to death. Just in the past hour, the medical examiner saying those children from carbon monoxide poisoning.
Let's go live to Jacqueline Francis with the latest on this. It's a huge departure from what police initially thought happened to these kids, right, Jacqueline?
Ty and Kimberly, it really is, because initially investigators thought that the kids froze to death. And while yes, it was cold, the temperatures were in the teens and they did not have proper shelter, we now know that the cause of death was carbon monoxide poisoning. The medical examiner also noting in the report that the manner of death was an accident. The two children who died were 2-year-old Amila Curry and her 9-year-old brother Darnell. The family was living out of their car inside a Greektown parking garage when at some point the car battery died. Shortly after, the mom noticed her son was not breathing and took him to the hospital. Both kids died at the hospital, and we now know it was from carbon monoxide poisoning. So how did the carbon monoxide only affect some of the kids in the car and not others? And how did it happen in an open air parking garage? Those are the questions we are taking to medical experts tonight, and we're going to have those answers for you tonight at 11. Live from Greektown, Jack.
Tonight, an update on the heartbreaking story of 2 young siblings found in a minivan in a Greektown parking structure.
Well, the circumstances are tragic. The Wayne County prosecutor will determine if their mother or anyone else contributed to their death. Fox News' Jessica Dupnag joining us live with more on today's developments. It's been a very busy day in this case, Jessica.
Yeah, this is really the next step in this investigation since the beginning. Detroit police have been looking into this case, not only to figure out what led to the children's, but also to see if there was a criminal component to it all. Now, since that time in February, there's been multiple people brought in for questioning, including the children's mother and grandma, but no arrests have been made. Now it will be up to Wayne County prosecutors to decide if anybody is criminally culpable. Since February, Detroit police have been investigating to figure out what led to the death of 2-year-old Amila Curry and her brother, 9-year-old Darnell Curry.
Now, before we move on, so y'all heard it. They found out that the kids from carbon monoxide. Now, if any of y'all know how carbon monoxide works, let me know in the chat, because from what I know is it doesn't, if it's in an area, it doesn't skip over people. The questions I have is, sound like she was saying all of her kids were in that car, right? So all the kids were in the car. They were homeless. They were living out the car. So if you and all your kids were in that car, how did only 2 of your kids pass away? That's going to take out everybody. It's not going to take out some. So how is it? And that's the questions that they're asking, and they're going to get to the bottom of it. There was also online, they were saying that there was a warrant for her, but now they're saying that warrant was not true. But they do want to talk to her. They do want to ask her more questions, because now that the autopsy has determined that these kids from carbon monoxide, there's more questions that they have to ask, because what happened to those 2 kids? And if I'm not mistaken, the 2 kids that died, they're their father is the guy who spoke out. They have the same father, if I'm not mistaken. So my question is this: did she allegedly put those 2 kids in that car? Were those the only 2 kids sleeping in that car while she was somewhere else? Because something is not adding up, and I knew something wasn't adding up from the beginning, but they're going to get to the bottom of this, and I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if they end up arresting her for, the murder of her children. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that's what it is, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Let's continue.
And now their findings are with the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. Until last week, the theory was the 2 kids froze to death, but an autopsy revealed the cause of death is carbon monoxide poisoning. At the time of their death, they were in the care of their mother, 29-year-old Tatiana Williams. The family, homeless, living out of a van, parked at the Greektown Casino parking structure in February when they...
Everybody who knows me know I worship the ground and kids walk though.
The sequence of events that led to the children's have not been revealed, or where the children were exposed to carbon monoxide. Both children wearing T-shirts and the toddler in a diaper. The older boy was covered in lice and the 2-year-old with rotted teeth. Our Charlie Lane.
Wait. So one was covered in lice and the other child's teeth were rotten. And I remember hearing, which they just confirmed again, that the kids were dressed inappropriately. Now, it was freezing. It was cold out there. One had on just a diaper and the other one just a T-shirt. That there should be a red flag automatically. Why are the kids dressed in those light clothing like that? And it's freezing and y'all in a car. Shouldn't they have more clothes on? That was a red flag when I first heard that. That sounds like neglect to me. Let's continue.
Langton talked to the children's mom and grandma back in February.
Did the van run out of gas?
I have no idea what happened. I have no idea.
Did you fall asleep?
Yes.
And then when you woke?
Only night I fell asleep. I usually be woke.
Both Tatiana Williams and her mom, Yvette Goodman, have been questioned by Detroit police. No arrests were made. Now, the Wayne County prosecutor will decide if anyone should be charged in the case. Mayor Mike Duggan vowing wraparound services for Williams after learning she did not receive help when calling the city's homeless hotline. She also received a free home on the city's west side from the Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries.
This cannot ever happen again.
Detroit Police Chief Todd Bettison not going on camera today, stressing in a statement put out on social media and to the media that this next step is standard protocol when it comes to their criminal investigations, and any charging decision will fall on the prosecutor's office. Reporting downtown Detroit, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Jessica, you broke this story with the help of your sources. The next question that's really been popping up online is, what kind of charges are we looking at here? Do you have any indication at this time?
It's a really good question, and there's been a lot of sensitivity around a case like this just because of how widespread it has been picked up really around the country. Now, as far as charges, I think it's important to keep in mind that because carbon monoxide was determined to be the cause of death, that does mean that the children's is ruled accidental, at least by the medical examiner. So that changes a little bit how the prosecutor will examine this in terms of charges. I have a feeling it's going to be weeks, if not months, before a decision is made.
Jessica Dupnack, we do appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess we'll continue to monitor the story to see what actually happened. But I'm telling y'all now, I suspect foul play. That's just my opinion. I suspect that the information that's going to come out that she did something to those kids, allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly because I wasn't there. Something is just not adding up. If they determine, and this is just what I've been thinking, if they determine that those kids were left in that car by themselves, that's automatically neglect right there. You can't leave your kids in a car by themselves. They're minors. So if she left them kids in that car with the car running and they from carbon monoxide, she's gonna be charged.